In the last class, we discussed Darcy's formula or head loss due to friction. The Darcy's formula or head loss due to friction is the major loss in the pipe. And in addition to major losses, there are minor losses also. We discuss in the latter section. First, see the head loss due to people are joining without okay, head loss due to friction. In the last class, we discussed that it is 4FLV square by 2GD, which is known as Darcy's mismatch formula. And there are certain minor losses also we discuss in the next session. Major losses we calculate by either Darcy's mismatch formula or Chezy's formula. Of course, Chezy's formula is not there in syllabus. However, in the problems it may be given. Therefore, we will discuss that also. See, what is a laminar flow in terms of Reynolds number? How will you define laminar? Okay, I have been asking this question because of its fundamental nature. But only a few people are, only one person is responding. Okay, in the Darcy formula, for FL is square by 2GD, which is head loss due to friction. We write F is equal to 16 by R for laminar flow, that is, when Reynolds number is less than 2000. And its value is calculated to be 0.079 by RE power 1 by 4 or 0.25. And the Reynolds number is more than 4,000 and it is up to 10 lakhs. So we calculate the coefficient of friction in the Darcy's mismatch formula, like this. For laminar flow in one way, for turbulent flow in another way. By adopting a different formula for coefficient of friction. And the formula for coefficient of friction is F is equal to 16 by R. Then the Reynolds number is less than 2000. It is called viscous flow also. And F is equal to 0.079 by RE power 1 by 4 or RE power 0.25. When the Reynolds number is more than 4,000 and it is up to 10 lakhs. 10 lakhs Reynolds number value. We ordinarily for turbulent flow, this formula is F is equal to 0.07 by RT power 0.25. And using these two formulas, checking whether the flow, the Reynolds number value, or whether the flow is laminar or turbulent. Based on that, F value is calculated. And after finding F value, using 4F values, that is Darcy's formula for friction coefficient of head loss due to friction. Then there is one more formula for head loss due to friction, which is Chezy's formula, which is derived based on the formula that was discussed earlier in the last section. I will show you the formula discussed in the last section. This is the formula where HF is equal to F dashed by rho. Of course, 4 by d theta. It is P by A also, perimeter by area also, and into L into V square, where F dashed is friction factor, friction, frictional force exerted per unit length, per unit velocity. And HF is worked out to be F dashed by rho, 4 by d or P by L into V square, where A by V, which is area of flow by wetted perimeter, is called hydraulic diameter or hydraulic mean depth, and it is denoted by small m. That means hydraulic mean depth m is equal to A by P, which is for the pipeline 5 by 4 d square, perimeter is 5d, and when simplified, A by P is equal to D by 4. And this A by P is called, is assigned a letter M, or P by A. P by A is in the formula HF, which is 1 by M. I will show you the earlier slide. So here, you see here HF is equal to F dash by rho P by L into the square root, which was derived in the last class while discussing Darcy's Weisbach formula for friction factor. And substituting M is equal to A by P, which is B by 4 for pipeline, for circular pipe. And that means, we write HF by replacing A by P as 1 by M, P by A as 1 by M. And we write HF is equal to F dash by rho LV square is 1 by M. And from this we get V square is equal to HF into some value we will get. So from this we will get V equal to square root rho G by F dash into M into HF by L. So in that way we will get the formula for velocity, mean velocity of the flow. And there square root rho G by F dash is given, is assigned a constant C, which is called Chezy's constant, and HF by L is assigned a letter, a small letter I, where I is loss of head per unit length of pipe. And substituting in this way, that is square root rho G by F dash and Chezy's constancy, and square root HF by L as I, we will get B is equal to C into root M. This is called Chezy's formula. And the loss of head due to friction in the pipe is also calculated in Chezy's formula. So whenever a problem is given, sometimes you may be asked to find head loss friction by Darcy's form and also Chedid's form. See this problem. Find the head loss due to friction in a pipe of diameter. Some diameter is given, some length is given, through which water is flowing at a velocity of 3 meter per second. Using Darcy's formula and using Chedid's formula, where the constant, Chedid's constant C is given 60, you have to find out the loss of head due to friction. So when is the loss of head due to friction significant? The loss of head due to friction is significant, or which is a major loss when the pipeline is of longer in length. The pipeline is too long or significantly long. When for short pipes, this head loss friction need not be taken into account, where this head loss due to friction is the major loss, and there are certain minor losses. We will discuss minor losses also. Head loss due to friction, I repeat, is significant only when, or is considered only when, the pipe length is significantly long pipe. See here, the length is given 50 meters. 50 meters is how much? It is significant. See, people are joining without time consciousness. They should have time conscience. Just for the sake of attendance, you are joining. It is it is observed by all people, all teachers. Okay, here Darcy's formula, if we write HF is equal to 4FL square by 2G. So here the value of Reynolds number you have to find. What is the formula for Reynolds number? What is the formula for Reynolds number? Reynolds number formula for a pipeline of diameter D, where the fluid is having viscosity and density rho, like that. See, the formula for Reynolds number is rho VD by B. And you must have in first unit studied nu by rho equal to nu, kinematic viscosity. Kinematic viscosity and dynamic viscosity are related by nu equal to nu by rho. So in that way, the Reynolds number is calculated. Mean velocity is given, diameter is given, and viscosity. Viscosity of kinematic viscosity of fluid is also given for water, 0.01 Stokes. Here, the point of again units have come. What do you mean by Stoke? You must have studied this in first unit. What do you mean by Stoke? In expand Stoke. Stoke is the unit of kinematic viscosity. So the unit of slope is centimeter square per second. Centimeter square per second. One stroke is equal to 1 centimeter square per second. So it is given 0.01 stroke. So you convert into meter square per second, where you introduce 1 centimeter as 10 power minus 2 and square it, you get the conversion new value, and find out Reynolds number value. And it is worked out to be 9 lakhs or 9 into 10 power 5, which is in the range 4,000 to 10 lakhs. And therefore, the value of F, the friction factor, coefficient of friction, is to be worked out by the equation 0. F is equal to 0.079 by Re power 1 by 4. This formula you have to remember. I repeat, this formula you have to remember. Where in Darcy's Weisbach formula or Darcy's formula, HF is equal to 4FL square by 2G. The value of F, coefficient of friction, is calculated by two formulas. One is F is equal to 16 by R, and it is valid for Reynolds number value less than 2000. And again, second formula for F is equal to 0.07 divided by Re power 1 by 4, which is valid for Reynolds number range from 4,000 to 10 lakhs. And in that way, you have to calculate F value and then substitute F use 0, and then head loss friction by Darcy's formula. So how by the formula L is mean velocity is given, and diameter is given, and acceleration is given. Remember, all should be meter. Remember, I repeat all these parameters should be substituted in meter only, so that head loss due to friction you will get in meter of water. And this is using Darcy's formula. And using Chezy's formula, which is the Chezy's formula is V is equal to C root Mi, where M is equal to A by, which is D by 4, or hydraulic mean depth. Remember M as mean depth, hydraulic mean depth. Hydraulic mean depth, M is equal to area of cross section of the flow divided by wetted perimeter. So area of cross section of the pipe, the flow is 5 by 4 B square. And perimeter or the wetted perimeter is called wetted perimeter, 5D. Perimeter or wetted perimeter. And it is worked out to be D by 4, and you get some value for M. And the value of velocity given, mean velocity given, the Chezy's constant given, M is worked out, and you will get now I value, which is nothing but head loss due to friction per unit length of the pipe. And I value is worked out, and head loss due to friction per unit length is equated to I, and you can calculate HF value in this way also. Of course, these two values by these two formulas may come differently, but it is a formula, a different formula invented by some Chezy, scientist Chezy, and therefore we have to use whenever Chezy's formula is given, which is V is equal to C root Mi, where C is Chezy's constant, M is hydraulic mean depth, I is head loss due to friction per unit length. So in this way, head loss due to friction is calculated. Now tell me, under which category does the head loss due to friction fall under? Is it a major loss or minor loss? Diploma people, at least. See, nobody is exceptional. And if anybody concentrates and listens to the class, definitely he will understand. Definitely he will follow and answer. See, there is, see, I repeat, these subjects are related or fortunately dealt with 90% mathematics and 10% subject. And that's why this is a boon to me. And therefore, you, if you don't concentrate on the lecture or if you don't practice, see, I'm following this Bansal, R.K. Bansal, and you can follow any textbook of your choice. But thing is, you have to either listen and practice or practice, and both. If you are that much alert, okay, that is major loss. Now coming to the minor losses, I told you the minor losses will be covered. See, there are certain minor losses. Minor losses are considered only when the pipe line is short, not too long. Remember, see, and whenever the pipeline is too long, significantly long, then these minor losses can be neglected. That's why these are called as minor losses. What are the minor losses? There will be head loss due to sudden contraction. That means some head will be lost. Actually, little head will be lost because of sudden contraction, sudden enlargement at the entry of the pipe, exit of the pipe. If there is a bend, if there is any pipe fitting, walls or something else, any obstruction. So in this way, there are these are categorized like this: head loss due to friction because of sudden enlargement, and loss due to sudden contraction, and loss due to entry of the pipe, loss due to exit of the pipe, head loss due to obstruction in the pipe, and head loss due to sudden bend in the pipe, head loss due to pipe fittings. In these are considered only when the pipeline is short. Remember, and when the pipeline is too long, these are not considered. And of course, if asked to consider, you have to consider. See here, loss due to sudden enlargement is and loss due to sudden contraction are normally asked in the examinations. Head loss due to sudden enlargement. What do you mean by head loss? I told you in the last class also. What do you mean by head loss? How will you visualize physically if there is a head loss between two sections? I repeat, how will you visualize the head loss due to a certain head loss between two sections? if there is a certain head loss between two sections, how will you physically visualize? See, that has to be understood. I told you yesterday with with some emphasis when head loss to while discussing head loss friction in the pipe. What do you mean by head loss? How will you visualize head loss between any two sections? Suppose a fluid flow is flowing from left to right, for example. If I said there is head loss between 2 points A and B, 2 points A and B, how will you visualize it? See, there are so many latecomers. I don't know why they enter, and I don't know why they enter the class without time consciousness. See, your entry time will be observed, will be recorded. See, only when you concentrate on the classes fully, and of course, a few people are entering the class in time, at least those people have to respond. How will you visualize head loss due to head loss between two sections? If I say there is some head loss between two sections, 1 and 2, how will you visualize it? How will you show that there is head loss to a layman? I said if suppose there is head loss between two sections, uh, what will you, how will you visualize if two piezometers are kept at two sections? You will find a fall in the second right piezometer, fall in the level of right piezometer of fall of fluid that is flowing in the pipe. So then you will say that there is uh, head loss between those two sections. What do you mean by head loss actually? Okay, that in that way you can visualize. What do you mean by head loss? It is nothing but pressure loss. It is nothing but decrease of pressure from section one section other section. So if pressure decreases, if there is if the pipeline is too long, and if it is a short pipe and there are certain minor losses can be considered, and these are also important for the academic interest. Practically, in most of the problems, you may be asked to neglect the minor losses, numerical values, and neglect. Okay, see the first loss. We have to solve the first two losses. That is loss of head due to sudden enlargement. Say there is sudden enlargement taken. What do you mean by sudden enlargement? Sudden enlargement of pipe from area A1 to area A. There is a section shown. There is a pipeline, short pipe shown, which has A1 area at section 1 and A2 area. Of course, the A1 area uh, has been enlarged to A2 at certain point. So there is a sudden enlargement. There is sudden enlargement, and you see the flow profile has been drawn in the pipe. Pipe. The flow profile has been drawn like a divergent profile from section section A1, cross section area A1. That means if you can visualize the flow through a transparent pipe, in the laboratory you can visualize if you use a transparent pipeline, the flow profile would look like. So in that way, the flow profile will be there. And see, you now because we are assuming, we are telling that there will be loss of it because of sudden enlargement. There will be definitely different pressures at section 1 and section. So let us, and also the velocities would be different. Why one can say the velocities at section 1 and section 2 would be different. This had been questioned and answered by me yesterday also. The velocities at section 1 and section 2 would be different. Why? On what basis the velocities differ? You are too inert to listen. You are too inert to speak. You are too inert to uh, concentrate. I don't know why. In the third and fourth periods, you are doing like this. Okay, because of continuity equation, Q equal to A1 and is equal to A2. Because the area is changed, velocity will change. So now tell me, how would be the velocity in the larger cross section area? Would it be smaller or a bigger value than the velocity at the smaller cross section? Velocity larger cross section లో ఎక్కువ ఉంటుందా తక్కువ ఉంటుందా? Answer this point. When the discharge flow through the pipe is maintained constant. So using A1 V1 equal to A2 V, what will happen to the velocity in the larger cross section area? So I am asking you what would be V2 value? Tell me whether V1 is higher or V2 is higher in this figure. So I am questioning you in a different manners. In spite of that, you are not responding. Okay, in the smaller cross section area, the velocity would be high. Why? Because to make A1 the smaller multiplied with, there should be a bigger value. Okay. See, the head loss due to sudden enlargement uh, there is a figure shown, the flow profile has been shown, and see some eddy formation or what you call eddies will form at the change of cross section from A1 to A2. It is shown by some arrow marks, and the pressure at section 1 is P1, at section 2 to is P2, velocity at section 1 is V1, and section 2 to is V2, and there will be a same pressure exerted on the projected area of eddies. The projected area is A2 minus A1, and see how the Bernoulli equation is applied between section 1 and 2. See, all the times in most of the problems, we will apply Bernoulli equation directly. I'm attempting Bernoulli equation. P1 by rho g plus V1 square by 2 plus Z1 equal to P2 by rho g plus V2 square by 2g plus Z2 plus head loss due to sudden loss. So now Z1 equal to Z2, and therefore we substitute and we cancel and we write the remaining equation. And therefore head loss due to sudden enlargement is equal to P1 minus P2 by rho g plus V1 square minus V2 square by 2g. And we take the force acting on the liquid in the control volume in the direction of flow, which is sigma fx. If we take P1A1, the pressure exerted on section A1, which is P1A1, and minus P2, the pressure exerted on section 2, the negative x direction. And I told you that this will exert some pressure, which is equal to the pressure exerted on section 1, which is P1. Of course, it is written P dash, later it is given that P dash equal to P1. And see, these have to be carefully studied in the text. So when simplified, sigma fx is equal to get P1 minus P2 into A2. And this sigma fx, because there is change of velocity from section 1 to section 2, so there will be a change of momentum also, rate of change of momentum also. And we will find momentum of fluid at section 1 per unit time, or rate of change of is mv, which is rho A1 U1 into U1. So rho, the density of the fluid, because you take incompressible fluids, this density is maintained constant in all the sections, but area A1 V1. So mass flow rate m dot is equal to rho m dot multiplied by velocity, so V1. So m into mv. So in that way, the momentum of fluid at section 1 per unit time is calculated. It is worked out to be rho A1 V1 square. And similarly, it's at section 2 is worked out to be rho A2 V2 square. And the rate of change of momentum is equal to the final momentum minus initial momentum per unit time. And it is rho A2 V2 square minus rho A1 V1 square. And replacing, we eliminate A1 in the equation by A2, because we want fx in terms of A2, because in the last formula, got fx is equal to P1 minus P2 into A2. Therefore, we eliminate A1 by A2. And after eliminating, the change of momentum can be written as rho into A2 into V2 square minus V1. All these are to be these mathematical manipulations have to be done by you. And these can be done by anybody because these are all fundamentals. And now equating the force exerted by the fluid or net force acting in the x direction to this rate of change of mass, we will get P1 minus P2 into A2 equal to rho into A2 into V2 square minus V1 square. And therefore, we finally get P1 minus P2 by rho equal to V2 square minus V1 V2. And because the pressure head difference is P1 minus P2 by rho g, we divide by g, and finally we will get P1 minus P2 by rho g is equal to V2 square minus V1 V2 by g. And again, you simplify this, you add some V1 square by 2g minus c. The value of c, P1 by rho g minus P2 by rho g in the last equation. We got P1 by rho g minus P2 by rho g as you see. See, the head loss due to sudden enlargement is P1 minus P2 by rho g plus V1 square minus V2 square by 2. And this P1 minus P2 by rho g, which is V2 square minus V1 V2 by g, is substituted there. And using that head loss due to sudden enlargement after simplification, you will get V1 minus V2 whole square by 2. V1 minus V2 whole square 2g. So in that way, the head loss due to sudden enlargement has been found. So this is an important derivation, and also head loss due to sudden contraction also is an important derivation which can be asked in the examination. Now tell me, how will you visualize the head loss due to head loss between any two sections? How will you physically observe or physically say that there is head loss between two sections? See, there is a constraint on the syllabus as well as there is a constraint on time. Time constraint is there. Otherwise, we could have spent more time. Though we are spending a significant time, and we are doing a good number of good problems, important problems. You are to utilize the opportunity. Okay. Okay, there is another see, still a few people are trying to enter in the last minute. I don't know why they come in the last minute. Okay, what are the minor losses? I want to stop here, stop at this point because there is no response from your side. What are the minor losses? Name a few number of few minor losses. What are the minor losses? What is major loss and what are minor losses? In the examinations, this question is usually asked. What are major and minor losses in the pipes? And list out. This is a conventional question, not an objective question. And after that, in the second bit, you may be given like this. Derive the formula for head loss, sudden enlargement, or derive the formula for head loss, sudden contraction, like that. See here, the manipulations or the derivations have been done in a more logical manner. No, though they look lengthy, but they are logical. Okay, I'm asking you a question. When do you expect a change of momentum in a pipeline? Or when is the change of momentum in a pipeline between any two sections, 1 and 2? See, all these are related to mathematics, actually not a subject, not our subject. And since long back, we have been studying what is momentum, what is, and the force exerted in a certain direction, in the where fluid flows is equal to the rate of change of momentum. So in that way, if there exists a change of momentum, what do you mean by that? How is the pipeline would be? How would be the pipeline? Say between section 1 and 2, if I say there is a change of momentum, what do you mean by? See, these formulae are very important unless you listen or write on paper. Unless you practice, it will not be that much easier. Okay, we will discuss in next class.